This is sort of the final piece of the puzzle, if you will. This is where, we've got the foundation now. We understand what macronutrients are. We understand how our body uses them, how they comprise different food or all food. We understand how to calculate them and how to track them. And this last piece is about adjusting them for your specific goals. So this is what we call like nutrient timing. And there's a couple different strategies for nutrient timing, which I'll go into. That's carb cycling and intermittent fasting. Those are tools for muscle building and fat burning. But nutrient timing essentially is a strategic way of eating. So eating certain foods at certain times based on desired results. For example, you may, if you're exercising, you might have a pre-workout snack or meal, and you would want the combination of macros in that pre-workout snack or meal to ensure optimal performance during your workout. Again, it's tying back to what are you eating and how is it making you feel? So if you know you've got an exercise class to do or a 45-minute workout you're going to be doing, you want to have energy, endurance, and strength for that to get through it. And so you would want to eat something that was timed and combined appropriately to give you the max performance. Same thing, post-workout. After exercise, what are you replenishing with? You have just depleted the glycogen stores in your muscles, right? The fuel and the energy, you've just used all of that. So how do you now replenish so that you can refuel and repair and start to build? And so it's important to understand the keys of nutrient timing so that it will simplify what you eat and when. So a good rule of thumb, like post-workout, after strength training, I usually have a protein shake. I'm not big on shakes and supplements like bars and things because I prefer to eat real whole food. Your body, my body, your body, every body will work harder to digest and break down real whole foods, thus increasing your total daily energy burn. What do I mean by this? When we digest food and our normal body is processing, it's burning calories, it's using energy to do that. When you break down whole foods, it's a much more intricate process for the body. It takes longer and it's more work for the body, therefore you burn more calories. If I'm taking in a protein shake, this is a liquid form of protein, which is pre-digested and easily absorbed by the muscles. My body doesn't have to work hard to break it down. It's already a liquid, it's already broken down. However, it's great for after exercise because it's quickly absorbed. And after you've worked out and your glycogen stores are depleted, you need something to refuel. So that's what nutrient timing is, though. It is understanding what to eat and when based on your activity level and what you're doing in the course of a day. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about carb cycling. Carb cycling is a great tool for fat loss. It is where you adjust your macros to higher carb and lower carb days based on the type of exercise you're doing or if it's a rest day. On a rest day, you would just do like your normal macronutrient maintenance schedule. So if whatever that ratio is for you based on the calculator tool that you did, you can follow along with that. But if you have a strength training workout planned, you would want to up your protein and up your carbs. And so when we are using our muscles and we are doing weightlifting, we need more energy for that. It's a bigger stress on the body. And in order for muscles to respond, to grow, to build, to develop, we have to feed them. That's something that I got so wrong back in the day. I worked out with a personal trainer and I would show up at the gym, I would do some like 40 minutes of cardio, and then I would have an hour-long strength training session. And afterward, the trainer was like, you have to eat, you have to eat, you have to eat. The first thing you have to do right now is go home and eat. And I'd think to myself, are you kidding me? I just worked my butt off. I'm not eating a thing. I am not going to undo all of that hard work I just did. I had it all wrong in my mind because I didn't understand that if I wanted to receive the benefit of the exercise, I needed to feed my muscles. I needed them to be able to replenish and repair in order to grow and respond to the exercises I'd done. Totally didn't get it. And it's the truth. It is a real thing. You have to feed your muscles if you want them to grow. When we have more muscle mass, we burn more calories at rest. We raise our metabolism because muscle burns more calories than fat at rest. So you'll find, and this is what I found, that if you have a weight loss goal, we're going to do that first. And eventually you're going to shift to a muscle building goal. When you have more lean muscle on your body, you can eat more. You can eat more calories in a day without gaining weight because your body needs more calories just to maintain its current state. So it's actually a very cool thing for somebody like me who loves food. So the more I can eat, the better, which means I want to have more muscle on my body. So that is carb cycling, right? It's eating higher carb on days that you're doing strength training to fuel those muscles, to grow them so they can build and respond to the workouts. And then on cardio days, pure cardio days, eating lower carb because you want your body to get into fat burning mode. And I'm sure you've heard of keto and ketosis, and I am not getting behind that. I'm not suggesting anybody do it. There's a time and place for it, but that's not what we're doing here. That is, on days that you're doing cardio though, if you eat lower carb, then your body has an opportunity to dig into stored fat for energy. And so that's what you would want to be doing on those days. And then on rest days, again, just doing your normal, whatever your calculated ratio is, that's fine. And so that's the nutrient timing and that's the carb cycling. And then intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is another tool that can be used, and honestly, only after you've gotten the other things like in a rhythm and a routine, because the last thing you want to do is too many things at once. Too many new things at once is when we go into like analysis paralysis and overwhelm, and then we honestly stop doing everything, right? Guilty of it. So it's one thing at a time. Focus on one thing at a time, and then as you perfect and hone your skills with one thing, then move on to the next and start to build upon, like building blocks. Intermittent fasting would be the last thing. This is simply just a ratio for eating versus fasting. So fasting is when we let our bodies completely rest from eating and digesting and processing food. And it gives our organs and our whole body a chance to just kind of replenish and rejuvenate. There's so much science behind intermittent fasting. I'm not going into the science. I'm not a scientist, but fasting has been going on for centuries and centuries for lots of different reasons. I have tried it in various forms and time periods, and I absolutely love it. It's not something that one would do every single day for the rest of their life, but at scheduled periods of time, intermittent fasting is an exceptional tool for increasing energy levels, healing the body, burning extra body fat, etc., managing all sorts of hormones. It's a very cool thing and something worth checking out, but it is something that you can incorporate into your food and your fitness plan as you start to perfect the other strategies around macros, counting, and calculating. But intermittent fasting, like as you could do 12 to 12, a 12 hour fasting and 12-hour eating window. So you would fast from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. You're sleeping most of that time. And then your meals and snacks would be between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So that's a 12-12. That's a really easy way to get started. Personally, I love a 16-8 where I'm fasting for 16 hours and then my window is 8. My husband is a little more extreme. Sometimes he goes 18-6. Sometimes he goes 24, where he's doing a 20-hour fast and eats in a 4-hour window. But again, it's something to be played around with. There's no one size fits all. You really have to listen to your body, see how your body responds, how are you feeling, and experiment with it a little bit. But again, I do recommend getting some guidance because this is your health and your wellness we're talking about, and not all things are for all people. But that's the idea around nutrient timing, is really being intentional and strategic about what you eat and when, based on your goals. So hopefully that makes sense. Please document your questions down and bring those to our live coaching sessions.